Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for the week of May 6th through the 12th, 2024. So, as we begin, I'd like to first of all thank everyone who is returning to this weekly series and hanging in there with me week after week. And some of you many years. And so thank you very much for your support. And also, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome anyone who's new to our Angelic Wisdom community. So thank you for tuning in and checking out the channel. Before we get into the energy of the reading for this week, if you haven't done so already, as a reminder, make sure that you're subscribed, select the all notification bell, like, dislike, and leave your comments as well. Also, if you are considering an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. And also, if you'd like to support my channel with a donation, you can select my PayPal Me link for Angelic Wisdom. Now, these links you will be able to find them in the description area beneath the video that you're watching. Just a few days ago, of course, when it was on Wednesday, when I published on May 1st the general monthly angel reading for May. So if you haven't checked that out, that's going to be the very first link that you will see in the description area. So really, hop on that right away. There's some really important information for us to consider in the next stage of our Ascension practice around respect and creating a sense of safety by creating a safe space for others to really express their truth. It's a powerful thing when you know that you can go to someone and you know they're not going to they may not agree with you, but they always listen and they allow you to hear yourself. And that's when the realization of your truth can come forward and you can express it and in that moment be free of what's limiting you about a belief that you've been that's been festering within you and creating all sorts of pain, not only with you in your life, but in the lives of others. It's the most powerful form of healing, to listen without an opinion and without expectation that that they will agree with you. Eventually, that your interjections will cause them to be swayed to your side, but just to hold the space. Very powerful. So, last week, you notice I finished up my roommate search, and the Mercury retrograde was just funky. And so I forgot to publish like the first couple of days of the week, the daily card messages. Definitely my energy needs a little time for reboot. So I will, because I want to focus on the zodiac readings, the angel scopes. And I'm working on it right now. So I'm starting even this video a little bit ahead of time, and then I'll start on them. but there's more stuff going on. So basically, I have client sessions that I want to keep up with as well. So I may miss some readings of the daily card messages next week. We will see. But it depends on how much I can get done of the 13 or 12 readings for the angel scopes. All right. So let's take a deep breath. And know that as you're breathing, what I'm seeing is that with each breath, as you release and let go, that more and more beings of light approach you and encircle you. So remember in this week to really take the time to breathe, because every time you breathe, more beings of light appear on your behalf. And so let's intentionally take a few breaths, knowing that the guardians of light and the beings of light that surround you will multiply, and their role is to be there in assistance for you in any way that you need it. And they keep writing the word change and changes. And if we were to sort of make it a practice to take a moment to pause and breathe as a way of embracing the ideas of change that you're considering with more beings of light to support whatever direction you're headed, by enabling more and more, and I just see them multiplying it. This first was 4, and now it looks like hundreds and thousands. And they write the word friend and friendly. And so they want you to know that they're always, the universe, with every breath that you take, the universe is always supporting you. And meaning friend, and friendly is happy. As in enjoying and loving the ideas that you, and dreams and goals that you are considering. There is nothing that you want or desire for the greater good that does not rally a team of light beings at your side. And when you take that deep breath, you really call them up, because it means that you're going within. That deep breath is about going within and deeply connecting in with the life force or the energies or the matrix of what you're asking for. So the deeper your breath, the deeper your connection, the more integrated. Your breath helps you to really integrate with the inspiration of wisdom from all of these beings of light. And so do not forget to call upon them specifically and tell them specifically what you need assistance with. Know that each and every one of them has been sent by God or Source. When you take that deep breath, the energy, the matrix that you are connecting with is the supreme source of all. And it immediately sends out to you a team of support. Now, most of the times we don't breathe very deeply, and we can if we would be more intentional. But it doesn't need to be like, I got it to expand my body and do all this. Like, it doesn't need to be like yoga or anything athletic. It's just a deep breath versus a shallow one. A shallow breath is almost as if we're not intentional. We're not taking the time to really tune in. And so if you took the time to tune in with a deep breath, you would feel more inspiration. You would feel more support. And remember, you are awakening your own cosmology, your soul's own cosmology, because all the light that you need is already a part of who you are. And they exist individually, alert and alive and aware and enlightened within you, like facets of a diamond. You just happen to be the entire diamond. So brilliantly faceted and shimmering with light and clarity. So there are changes approaching. They just wrote the word pardoned. And that's interesting because they usually write the word forgiveness. And the sense of that is maybe we need to give ourselves a break. We need to, and they just wrote something with Congress, so it could be something very specific, which I have no idea of. So we'll have to see what that is referring to. And I see the word referral as well. We'll have to see what that means. So let's just tune in and the angels ask you right now to open your heart and to take a deep breath and breathe as often as you need to formulate. They're writing the word request, so they want you to place your petitions or your request to them right now. Think about that one thing that comes to your mind that you need help with the most. It's been distracting you and kind of holding you prisoner. And maybe you don't know quite what to do with it. Maybe you feel that you're the problem, or something about you is a problem, and it's holding you back. It's holding you back from being able to pursue the changes that you know you're being guided to take, and that will bring more light and life and energy and opportunities towards you. And while you're doing that, the angels were showing me the angel number 759. And it says, it's the right time to put your focus and energy into creating a spiritually meaningful career that makes your heart sing. And they write in front of me explanation. And maybe you keep trying to figure out, well, how's this going to happen? You want the explanation. You want it to maybe to be mapped out for you, because otherwise you just can't. You can't just, believe this or turn your life upside down. You might have the word corruption. You just might have this, belief that there's so much corruption in the world and so much corruption everywhere, whatever you try to do, that it's just beyond your control, and that you're just stuck in something that doesn't really make your heart sing, because you have no choice. You have many attachments that require resources. And without those resources that you have, you are in a deeper rut. Now, they didn't say anything about just severing, writing a letter right now and resigning, or if it's bringing up, proposing some changes that you've been thinking about at your job. They're not saying that you have to force yourself to do that right now. But they are saying it's the right time to put your focus and energy into creating a spiritually meaningful career that makes your heart sing. It's time, the right time. Maybe yours is just setting things right by sharing these ideas, or getting together and really starting to talk about some of these ideas and the ways that you could create some positive changes. But for whatever reason, you're just afraid. So one of the things that we often forget is help with preparing the right people to come together with you, to have this type of exchange. Or sometimes we forget to pray for the orchestration of the right opportunity that will allow me to embrace my career goals. Or sometimes we forget to ask for the awareness and the courage, or the ability, the strength to access these things, or to be able to recognize them. Don't be afraid to be specific in asking for what you need, as if you were talking to a real person who said, I have every resource at my disposal. What do you need? Tell me every detail and I'll make it happen. And in that conversation, in that person's presence, you would feel just how sincere they are. Right in the depths of your soul, you would feel complete completely and totally liberated, unshackled, and you just spit off this entire list of things. But put it in the form of a question. Can you help me do this? Can you help me meet so and so? Can you help me orchestrate the right timing? Can you help me to be aware of the right timing? And if I already do, help me to feel, not to feel afraid, but yet to feel enormously loved and inspiring. So let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with in this week. It's interesting because Archangel Lavender, you can see her messages: prepare for soul healing, forgive and release everyone. And maybe what's really important is, we hold ourselves to such an ideal of perfection that might be the reason why we can't let others off the hook when they're imperfect. Because you can't let yourself off the hook for not being perfect. I know I experienced some deep disappointments recently, and I can't let myself off the hook for it. One was a job interview, and it just, every time I think about it, I just, you know. And then I think about in that situation where it seemed, because we always don't really know, we think we know, but it doesn't make us feel better, so we honestly don't know. But I remember thinking that the other person in this process, got in my way. And the thing is, let's say that the actions, to simplify it, was definitely not perfect. It was imperfect from my perspective. But is it the reason not being able to let that person off the hook, or not being able to let myself off the hook, is because I couldn't let that person off the hook? Because we're expecting everybody to be a disappointment, or we're expecting everybody to be perfect. In some way, there's no difference. When we can accept that our world is imperfectly perfect, and our relationships and the people we will encounter and the situations are all imperfectly perfect, and sometimes perfectly imperfect, then we open up to the possibilities that everything has a reason for happening. And we might be focused on the perfect outcome. When that outcome unfolds, it might then seem to us imperfect, but it's still perfect in that it is whatever happened in that moment that you feel went wrong, or in a way that someone wronged you. It opened up an opportunity. It revealed a challenge. Within that challenge, it revealed something that we need to heal. And in that lesson of that opportunity, or in the opportunity of that lesson, it's preparing us for the true perfect outcome. But can we pardon ourselves? Can we forgive others and ourselves in those imperfectly perfect opportunities orchestrated for healing? What we often do is take it personal. We focus on the injustice. We focus on the suffering that was caused, or the wrong that was done. And we don't see that in that moment of imperfection is the opportunity to bring forth our highest potential, that is a perfection. So in this week, think about, in a moment, why you can't let the other person off the hook. And understand that that is you not also being able to let yourself off the hook. We have to embrace that we are imperfectly perfect in this dimension, in this three-dimensional reality. And there was just a word that the angels threw out there a few moments ago, but okay, maybe it'll come back if it's important. Not to say that it wasn't, but it will come back if I need it. So Archangel Lavender works with your soul star chakra, which is the magenta chakra above your crown chakra. These are the I forget they're what they're called, but the above your crown chakra is the causal, slightly to the back. It's your personal moon and access to the angelic realm. And then the magenta is your soul star chakra, which brings back all your soul's gifts. And it's an opportunity to heal on so many levels. Ancestral, in all directions of time, and to bring back those gifts, because it's like they're tied up in our inability to pardon ourselves. And perhaps the universe, when we ask for forgiveness, or we ask to pardon ourselves for mistakes, whether they're intentional or not, they were just mistakes. And to also pardon others, then we heal our soul on so many timelines and allow our gifts and our wisdom and our power to just be unleashed. And your light becomes an activation. Your soul's light and journey becomes an activation for other souls that you will encounter. And you will know when you've allowed this to occur, because you're going to feel like you're connected to everything and everyone. You will feel harmony, an experience of harmony. And your relationships, not only with people, but with your work and all your actions will be deeply meaningful, spiritual. And it'll feel as though your soul is just singing with the power of your entire potential. So let's take a look at the card for the beginning of this week. And again, these cards were laid down in reverse. So again, I'm looking at this as another week of, internal perspective. So however you are viewing what's happening around you, really look at it from your own perspective in terms of what is this? What is it reflecting to me? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to let myself off? What am I afraid to let myself off the hook for? And you'll know what it is based on how you are reacting to everything around you. So here we have the Queen of Pentacles. And just radiant, and this card and full of life, just a sense of flourishing. And you have this opportunity right now. I feel like you have this opportunity to flourish. The only thing that would possibly stand in your way is those thoughts, those ideas of perfection that you expect in yourself, and constantly, because of your judgment and criticism and your feelings of unworthy, only can see or sense disappointment. So it's really an opportunity for you to nurture yourself this week, to nurture your life, to nurture yourself, spending time in nature, the things that make your heart sing, the hobbies, the activities, whether it's recreation or leisure or professional. Really indulge yourself in what you're passionate about, what makes your heart sing. This is a practice. Don't worry about what you're not good enough at yet. Don't keep forcing yourself in that way, because then you're just going to make yourself, you're going to cause the disappointment to grow deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it becomes a practice, and it causes exhaustion, they write. It's exhausting and exhaustive. And that comes from when we think we have to be in order to be noticed, accepted, or what we think makes us look or appear successful. And I'm not saying, just throw it all out, because that's just not easy to do that. But just redirect your focus. You can change your priorities about how you go about doing something. If there's something going on in your work and it's been very challenging and you just feel really disappointed, change the approach. Focus on the aspects of it that makes your heart sing. And then the other pieces will fall into place somehow, meaning the ideas to make those changes or adjustments will occur to you. But if you keep fighting against something and struggling with it, you just get more of the same. I just love the way she's lit up. She looks like she's almost like a movie star, just lit up here. Doing what you love. And here we have the Judgment card in the middle of all of this. And so far, the Major Arcana card that we see here. And so here is this energy where you see this just opening up, just looking forward, not looking back, facing the challenges head on without the same attitude. So I get a sense when I see those mountains in front of her that you're coming up against a lot of the same challenges. Like they just won't get out of your way. You know what I mean? Like they just keep popping up. And you're like really disappointed with yourself and with life, and you're just feeling really dejected. But the reason they keep coming up, because you are ready. You're ready to change. You're ready to heal. You're ready to experience the fullness of your power. And these things have just been placed there by you to have an excuse to not move forward and for you to believe the worst about yourself. And I know many of us know how to put on that face, and we tell ourselves, that's not me, he's not talking to me. I'm energetic, da da da. But deep down, when you give yourself a moment, or if you feel it like a sort of an anxiety or something, or you don't feel supported, or you feel like you're doing it all by yourself, or you feel like you're the only one who's passionate about everything, that's the same seed. The things that don't make us feel good, you can call it whatever you want. The things that annoy you, that frustrate you, that piss you off, whatever. And they just keep happening because you keep repeating the same actions, the same attitude. And there's only one approach. Choose love. Forgive. Pardon yourself. Stop holding yourself accountable to standards that not even the universe would uphold. We have to be careful about what we think is really spiritual or righteous. The universe doesn't debate, doesn't choose sides, and it doesn't argue between sides, because it only has one objective: oneness, peace, harmony, love, safety. It focuses on the qualities, these qualities alone, and lets nothing and loves nothing else more than them. Like, we can't love our drama more than we love our peace. Because it is our spiritual responsibility to focus, to keep weaving the threads of harmony, unity, peace, etc. Because as we make them a practice, like crocheting or anything, learning an instrument, when we practice peace and harmony, then the more we put it into practice against the odds of other things, of fear, They become what we weave into our reality, not just for ourselves, but for our world. And so the universe has only one desire and one design. And we've been given free will within it. But anything that we want, we have to be willing to heal, to release, and to forgive. Okay, here we have the Four of Pentacles again. Feels like in the same spot, at least a couple of weeks ago, if not last week. And so my first thought that comes to my mind, what are you holding on to right now? What are you holding on to? Because once you can let that go, once you can see beyond the thing you're holding on to, it's okay to hold on to something of a pure value, like peace or harmony, but can't even hold on to that outside of, or if it is not going to ultimately do that. For instance, some people, fear will make you say, I'm never going to leave my house because out there is chaos. If I stay in here, there's peace. That's not the same thing. You're afraid of losing something when there's something out there that you're meant to offer. And so you're afraid of being out there under the spotlight. So go deeper, take deep breaths, really ground yourself. And before you judge, breathe, release, forgive yourself and forgive others. Let go of those expectations. We're all imperfectly perfect. And that's the reason to forgive. And that's the reason that we should live a little bit more, I don't know what the right word is, but life should be a little bit more fun. I think when we can't forgive for those reasons, it becomes too serious. And there is some seriousness, but there's a whole lot of fun. And we just have to know how to balance that. All right, so pull the card from the I just started talking about balance from the bottom of the deck, and it's Temperance. And this just reminds us that everything, the universe is imperfectly perfect. So there's a balance for everything. Hot, cold, and there's a balance in between that. There's a balance for everything. Our differences, our broad differences, help us all to find that balance in between our differences. This is not a compromise, but this is almost sort of spiritual law in a sense. There is a balance. That's what harmony is. Harmony, we all think of these different notes that work well together vibrationally and emit this sound that just allows us to release and relax. So the next time you find yourself on opposite ends of a table with someone, think about the balance, the harmony that the two opposing beliefs and values, the harmony that those two things can create when you start to come together. I see the angel number is 959, and it says it's time to change your career so that it matches your spiritual beliefs. because that's how you find your meaningful mission in life. Do you see what they just did? That sounds like what I just said about that, the coming together for that harmony. And in the same way, it's time to change your career so that it matches your spiritual beliefs. And that's what that harmony. You're just finding that wherever you are in your career, you might be in the career that's right for you, but there are things about it that needs to come together. That you need to match up more, or find that harmony, that harmony point, that balance point in the middle, that then resonates with all of that you are. Because that's how you find, as it goes on to say, your meaningful mission in life. So you might be in the right ballpark, but you may not have kept within the two things that sometimes you say, well, I wish it could be like this, and then I wish it could be like this. And this and this are very different. And so it might not be like putting them together and that's how it's going to work, but it might be like bringing some of those things from either component might help you to find that middle ground that's perfect for you. But first, you got to forgive yourself. You got to let go of some choices in the past. You got to let go of some grand ideas you had about the future. But you don't have to let them go completely. You just have to let them come together, unify into something that is what you really will find soul satisfaction in doing. All right. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful, beautiful week. God bless.